Hi everyone, good evening. Okay, so let's start with this traffic manager. So yesterday we were discussing about the traffic manager. Traffic manager is kind of a load balancer, DNS based load balancer. And when we use this, whenever your applications are running across the regions, then we use the traffic manager. As I mentioned, if your applications are uh, running in one region and another region, and whatever the website, as I mentioned yesterday, if any of your website or application is famous across multiple different countries, then what you're going to have, for example, if all your servers are in the US and your website is accessing through different countries, then for them it is going to get some latency issues. So instead of that, wherever it is famous, like for example, it is in India, assume. So that particular website is also famous in India and in US. Then one region you'll select India and another region will be like US. Some servers are hosted here and some servers are hosted here. And then you are going to create endpoints. As of now, I created only one machine here. So in real world, we will have more machines. So we create endpoints and we'll add it to the traffic manager. So high availability, even though if one server is down from this region, again you'll have multiple servers so that traffic manager can send traffic to the specific servers. So if Indian users are accessing, then the traffic manager will route the traffic to here. I will show you like how traffic manager knows from where it is accessing, from where users are accessing the application or maybe website, right? So that's the reason we create this traffic manager. This is completely DNS based load balancing. That's why yesterday we configured DNS names for these servers. We configure DNS names inside the traffic manager, and backend it uses the IP, the public IP. And we configured everything. We created two servers in two different regions, and we created a traffic manager also, and we could able to access. For the namesake, we installed some Nginx application in this machine, assuming that this is our application. So with the help of traffic manager URL, we could able to access that. So this is a traffic manager, and if I go here with the help of this URL, we could able to access Nginx, right? So it is installed on both the machines. Now my requirement is here I am executing galaxy.trafficmanager.net because this domain name is providing by the Azure. So I don't want this domain name. I want my own domain name. So for that, what you need to do, you need to have your own domain name. So once you have your own domain name, then you can configure it. So there comes this DNS concept. So yesterday already I discussed what is DNS, how will be in the real time, what is the difference between public DNS and private DNS. So we are talking about now the public DNS. So in real time, in traditional data centers or maybe in your cloud also, you can have your own private DNS to have the name with your own domain name. But as of now, we are not focusing on that. So what we are doing here we have a DNS zone concept. Like if you go to the portal and you check DNS zones. So here we are going to create zones. But before that, here we don't have in AWS, we have a concept called Route 53. In the Route 53, we can buy domain names. So we don't need to go to the GoDaddy. So that is very easy if you buy the domain name from the AWS. So by default, the DNS names of the AWS are going to be maintained that. But here, Azure is not providing any facility to buy domain names here. So obviously you are going to GoDaddy. So now I'm going to buy some domain here. As I mentioned yesterday, once I buy domain name from this GoDaddy or BigRockin, so they are going to have their own public DNS servers. and they will add that particular domain name inside their DNS servers. Assuming that you are going to host the application, like what is the purpose you purchase the domain backend, so that will be hosted in their platform. But we have our own environment here, everything is ready, we just want only domain name. So for that purpose, what we are going to do, we will create a DNS zone here, and whatever the 4 DNS servers will get, that names we are going to update in the GoDaddy. So what happens whenever someone is trying to access through the internet this particular abc.com, it will go to the GoDaddy, and then backend it will send to the DNS servers about the entry. And when it sent information to this DNS servers, here we have a record that Galaxy.in will be alias to this particular name, so that it can send traffic to this traffic manager. So it is going to get the web pages or whatever the purpose is from here. This bit is going to work. So now I hope, like for better example, I'll take like to understand in a better way. So this is like a one region, another region, and then this is an endpoints. So here this is the traffic manager, and this is an east to US, west to US. And now here we got galaxy.trafficmanager.net. This is the URL we got to access. Now what we are doing here, we are creating DNS zones. Means in the DNS we are going to create a record now about what galaxy.trafficmanager.net alias galaxy.in, or like I'm going to purchase a domain, like I have already a domain, this is a domain name. So alias means what? It's like a duplicate name. Even for us also, we have a lot of names. In our home, our parents will call with some alias names from childhood. They'll keep some alias names. So in school or friends, college friends they'll call with some other names, right? Those are like kind of alias names only, right? Same way, this we are going to create alias. So whenever from the internet, if someone is trying to access www.init6tech.com, then what happens? So where is init6tech.com? Basically in the GoDaddy. So here it is available. So the GoDaddy, whatever the 4 DNS names we are going to get, once we create this alias, 4 DNS names it is going to be created. So those 4 DNS servers, public DNS servers, we are going to add it. Azure DNS servers will be added here. So that what happens for your website, whenever someone is accessing, it will go to the GoDaddy, and from here it will check, okay, it's having Azure DNS servers, and then it will send request to Azure DNS, and there it can find the alias name, then it will go and reach here. Understood, right? So now what we need to do first, I'll create this DNS zone. So here in the DNS zone, create, and this is in the free trial resource group name. I'm using the same, and name, always remember here, whatever the domain name you are going to purchase in the GoDaddy, provide the same name here. Don't give www or http, just give init6tech.com. This is a name I'm providing. I will show you once I log into the GoDaddy. Don't give some other name. You should give whatever the website name, domain name you purchase, give the same name. And resource group location by default selected, review and create. So this is zone. Inside this zone, we will create the records. Like yesterday, I told you, not this one, I think. Where is the DNS? Why we are getting this? This one, I think. So these are the records in this DNS server. Host name, IP address, host name, IP address. Same way, we are going to create a record now as an alias record. So once we create alias record, then I'll jump into the GoDaddy. So it is in progress. In the meantime, okay, it's done. Go to the resource. If you see here, init6tech.com, the name which I gave, with that name it got created. So now here, if you see name server 1, name server 2, name server 3, these are the DNS servers. So here, so these are the 4 name servers which got created. As of now, I did not created this rule. So we can create this rule and we can go to the GoDaddy, or once we go to the GoDaddy and then update this DNS servers over there, that is also possible. So I'll go to the GoDaddy now. GoDaddy.in. So provide the username. So whenever we purchase, we need to have our credentials. 548874, I think so. So I could able to log in. You see now, this is my account and my products. If I go, this is a domain name which I purchased. Okay, this is my domain name. One domain name I purchased. You can search any domain name, whatever you want. For example, if I search cloudfreak.com, whether it is available or not, what are the sites you want to purchase, you can go and search here. If it is available, it will show it is for 61,000, and they will give you options also like cloudfreak.in. If it come means commercial, obviously it's not that much easy to get .com sites. You can go with .in also, cloudfreak.in. This is for 49 rupees only for the first year, very cheap. Like if you want to purchase any domain name for practice, you just go and buy which you are getting for 100 or below 200 rupees. So this way you can search with any names. Okay, whether it's available, you can buy it, right? So this is a my products, and this is a domain name which I have. You see here. Go to the previous page. Here you can see this is my site, right? And here you can see this site is updated in the DNS servers, means backend. This is, as I mentioned earlier, why we need to have DNS servers. If it is a private DNS, then within your environment, where it is, in your data center, if you want to connect your servers with the host name, all host names and IPs should be updated here in the DNS server. Same way, if your websites needs to be accessed through the internet, then that website should be updated in the public DNS servers. Then only across the world we can able to access with that website, the domain name. So same way, when I purchased this domain name, obviously they added in the GoDaddy DNS servers. So for example, if I'm having any website content with me, I can go there and they're providing hosting services also. So here somewhere they'll have options hosting services. I can contact them, and if they will give me the cPanel details and I can provide my website content to them, they are going to host my website. That's it. Servers, everything will be managed by them back end. Monthly, I need to pay some amount to them, and whether they will host my website on the Linux server or Windows server depends based upon that. And they updated my website name inside their DNS servers, public DNS servers. But as of now, I don't have any code and I'm not hosting on their platform. We have separate environment with us. This is our environment. We want only domain name. So if, as I mentioned, if someone is accessing through the internet, obviously it will go to the GoDaddy, and in the GoDaddy in DNS records, it will not find where is the exact location of the source code, like where the application server is hosted. That's why we are changing now. So now if you click on this DNS, host names, what host names? If you see here name servers, so these are the name servers. Why I am sure why these are available, because I updated in the previous batch, so that's why it is showing Azure related name servers. For the first time when you log in and see, you will see the GoDaddy DNS servers. For previous batch I updated it, that's why it's showing this DNS servers. So now I'm going to change it. Enter my own name servers. So I want to use GoDaddy default name servers. No, I enter my own name servers, and here you remove this and provide this DNS servers names. And same way update all the 4. There will be a dot will be their end. Remove the dot. Okay, so this is how you are going to update these 4 name servers. Save. Yes. Continue. So your request, most name servers take effect within an hour, but could take, so immediately it will not get affected. It will take some time. So in the meantime, now we updated here these DNS servers over here. So now the final step is create this rule. So what we are going to do here in the DNS here, create a record set. Click on this one, and here you just type www. So whenever we type www.init6tech.com, so what should happen? And here it is asking type alias record to IP version, certificate, CNAME. So link your subdomain to another record. So already you have a domain and you are linking your another domain. So that's why we are creating this CNAME, canonical name. Okay. And alias record set, yes. And alias type Azure resource. So our traffic manager is Azure resource. So that's why we are selecting Azure resource. And here, what is your Azure resource? You see a traffic manager. These are the different resources. Azure CDN, front door, static web app. So traffic manager is our Azure resource. Select this one. Now, okay. So it will create a record here now. So that's why this name servers, what it will do, here you are creating a record. So whenever if someone is accessing the website, it will go to the GoDaddy. In GoDaddy, DNS servers are related to the Azure DNS servers. Then it will come here and it will check whether record is available or not, because user is trying with the init6tech.com, and in this DNS servers will check whether do we have any record with that name. It will find one record and then it will route the traffic to galaxy.trafficmanager.net. So then it will come to here, and whatever the content is inside this one, the user can able to access it. So record is available. I don't think immediately it will work. It will take some time, but we'll try. init6tech.com. Yeah, it's working now immediately. Like it took some time. And if I type init6tech.com, see, welcome to Nginx. So previously when we are using galaxy.trafficmanager.net, getting the same thing. And when I'm typing init6tech.com also, it's working. What we will do, we will configure a certificate for this one. As of now, this is not secure. So in real world, we'll create a certificate and we'll configure SSL certificate so that it will be secure like this. If you see here, the key symbol, this way your site will get secured. But that is not required for us. This is how it will work, init6tech.com. So understood? So now how to find website accessing from which region? I will show you. Let me connect to the virtual machines. Small change we need to do. I'll log into one of the machine. MOBA extern session. I'm connecting to one of the machine. No. So we install Nginx right here. So sudo has. So logged in as a root. Right now I'm into the West US. Okay. So cd var www html. This is a location. When we installed Nginx, under the var directory, this www/html directories will get created. Under that, we'll see one file called index.nginx. So basically, under this location, var www.html, you should paste or copy your website content over here. For example, if your is a static website, let's say mine is like institute website is there. So some developer, web designing guy developed my website and he will give me the code. So that code I can bring and I can put it here in this location. And front end, same like whatever we have done. If you do that, your site is up and running. Whatever it is going to pick up the website content from this location. This is called as a document root. Understood? In the Nginx configuration file, it is mentioned this path to go and check the content of website content from this location. So that's why this page is giving you this information. What are the page we are getting here now? If I open this page, now you can see here body welcome to Nginx, right? So now what I am going to do, sorry, this is West US VM, right? I'm just updating this, and then what I'm going to do, etc init.d Nginx restart, just restarted. So now I'm just hitting enter again here, but I think in the configuration file in the or else one more mission also I'll go there, East to US, because it is taking East to US. After this I will tell you how it will routed, what are the routing methods we need to configure. That is very important. If anyone is asking interview questions on traffic manager, they'll ask on routing methods. So that I will tell you once I finish this one. So I'm connecting to one more machine, East US VM, and session SSH Cloud Freak. Okay. No. Sudo and cd var www html and vi. Open this file with vi editor. So here I'm editing East US -VM. So instead of Nginx, I'm just changing it. etc init.d Nginx restarted. So now again I'll try to access this one. So if you see, welcome to East US VM. So it is routing to East US VM. Why it is routing to East US VM? Why not to West US? Why? Because I configured in such a way that it should route to East US VM only. So where is Traffic Manager? Here. You see configuration. Not here. I think endpoints. So endpoints, if you see, for East US I provided 1000, and for West US I provided 1, and I took the routing method is wait. So now we'll talk about what is this routing methods. So Azure Traffic Manager routing methods. So whenever you are configuring Traffic Manager, first of all, based upon your requirement, you should configure this routing methods. So now here you can see these many routing methods. Priority. Among these 4 are very important. These remaining are not that much important. These 4 are very important. Based on this, you need to configure the Traffic Manager. So I configured waited. So now priority. Select to priority. When you want to select priority routing, when you want to have a primary service endpoint for all traffic, you can provide multiple backup endpoints in case the primary or one of the backup endpoints is unavailable. Which means here, when you are going to select priority, you want all the traffic should go to the East US only. This is going to act like a passive. If this fails, then traffic should go to here. In that case, you can select priority based. So you are mentioning that this is priority and traffic should go here, not here. If some reason, if this fails, then backend immediately this traffic should go here. So then you need to select the priority. So at the time of creating routing, when you select this option, then it will give you drop down options, which one you want to make it as a priority. So there you will select. If you select East US as a priority, then West US will be like backup server. Weighted. Select weighted routing when you want to distribute traffic across a set of endpoints based on their weight. Set the weight the same to distribute evenly across all endpoints. So I selected weighted. So to distribute traffic across a set of endpoints based on their weight. See, as of now, from one region we created only one endpoint only. Here you can have multiple endpoints. So here also you can have one more endpoint. Here also you can one more endpoint. So for, let's say, here you assume you have 2 endpoints. And what is the value you are giving here? Whichever endpoint you provide more value, traffic will be routed to that particular endpoint. If you want both should be like active, then you provide here also 500 and here also 500, the value. So both values same, then traffic will be routed in both. or else whichever endpoint is having more value, it is going to send the traffic to that specific endpoint. When you want to distribute traffic across a set of endpoints based on their weight, this is how, like for one endpoint you give here 500, another you give 500, and here you give one, and here you give some other like for example 200. So next time if anything is failed, then it will route the traffic to here. So this way, if you have multiple endpoints, you can configure this one. If you want equally, then you should give same value so that it will send the traffic equally to both the endpoints. Performance. Select performance routing when you have endpoints in different geographic locations and you want end users to use the closest endpoint for the lowest network latency. So this scenario, as I mentioned, this is in the East US. Assume this is not in the West US. So this might be in the India, Central India region. Now, whenever a user is trying to access, TrafficManager will decide for this user which endpoint is nearer to the particular user who is trying to access. If user is coming from India and accessing this site, then based on that, it will route the traffic to Indian server only. Here it will route. And whoever nearby US trying to access the site, then it will send it to the East US. Those are not from the US and India. Okay, some other country they are trying to access, and it will check based on that which one is a good one to route the traffic. So that way it is going to select. Select performance routing when you have endpoints in different geographic locations and you want end users to use the closest endpoint for the lowest network latency. Lowest means good network. Okay. So select geographic routing to direct the users to specific endpoints, Azure, external or nested, based on where their DNS queries originate from geographically. So you will decide that this performance, if you select, TrafficManager will decide, okay, specific user is coming from Europe. For Europe user, whether it's US is near or India is near, based on that, it will route the traffic. But geographic, you are telling that if user is coming from this particular location, then route the traffic to this particular endpoint. Or else if user is coming from so and so location, then route the traffic to this particular endpoint. You will decide that. So that you need to configure geographic. So these are like important endpoints you need to configure based upon your requirement. What is the scenario for you? What is the client requirement or developer's requirement? Based on that, you need to configure. So these are like latest one. Subnet, select subnet traffic routing method to map set of end user IP address changes. Very rarely we don't use this one. So main important is this four: priority, weighted, performance, and geographic. So based on this, you are going to check that. And coming to this one, and if you see under the traffic manager, this configuration. So this configuration will do the health check of your endpoints. What are the endpoints we have? How traffic manager knows that this is working not? So it is going to send some GET request. So to your endpoint. So whatever you configure, whether it's an if you specify any port, then it will try to check whether it is available or not. So it will send some GET request and it will do the health checks whether it is available or not. If it is not available, then it will declare that this is not working. So here, based on this, because we are running HTTP protocol and 80, and this is the default path. So if it doesn't work, then immediately it will feel like it is not going to work. Understood? So now what I'm going to do for the endpoints, we'll just give a try. Instead of 1000, we'll change it to 500, and this is also 500. We'll see whether it is going to distribute the load or not. Like 500. And here also I will change it to 500. Even you can also try with accessing this www.init6tech.com 1000. Sorry, not 1000. Should give 500, right? $500 saved. So now East US, I'll just hit enter. Now if you see West US, endpoints. Okay. For each sheet, maybe load balancer work in a very good way. Whenever we hit one time enter, it will route the traffic to one server, and the next sheet we enter, it will route the traffic to another server. That load balancer work in a better way in this situation. As of now, I'm expecting this should change to East US for every hit, because as per weighted, uh, set the same way to distribute evenly across all endpoints. Means it should, when I'm hitting for the first time, it should go, maybe because from the same mission I'm trying, that's why it is not routing. I don't know. You guys can try whether you guys are getting East US or not with the init6tech.com and let me know. Still, you are also getting West US. Just let me know you are getting East US or West US. Maybe from the same IP it is going. That's why it is routing to the West US. I'm getting East US. Yeah. So traffic is routing. Like multiple people are accessing. Maybe because of this same IP, then it's sending to West US only. So some people are getting East US, means evenly it is distributing the load to both the endpoints. So this is how it will work. So this is about the traffic manager. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Then we'll wind up. And as I mentioned, tomorrow I'm going to start with the load balancer. Exactly same like Route 53 only. Like starting session yesterday, I told like in AWS we have Route 53. Here we have a traffic manager, but here we have a in Route 53 everything you have in single service. But here we discussed separately. Traffic manager and DNS is separate. And in Route 53, as I mentioned, you have option to buy domain names also. But here you cannot have option to buy domain names. Where did you see the custom domain name? In the configuration or endpoint? Where I don't see any custom domain. Please share admin phone number. Okay. I think there is a message, right? These are the admin phone numbers. You can take it. Yeah, you can use performance based routing between regions. You can use it. See, data you will use only front end applications. Back end again, you need to configure your middleware database in a different way. Because again, your application server backend will go and connect to the database, and from the database only it will fetch the information. So your database also should be in a same region. Like here in the East US, you should have database, and here also you should have same database. That way you need to work, or else in one database, like basically database will not work like application, like multiple redundancy servers, right? How GoDaddy servers able to access Azure private DNS zones and redirect init domain to traffic manager. That is what I explained here. GoDaddy servers are not providing access. We removed GoDaddy servers from the godaddy.com and we provided Azure DNS servers for our website over there. So when the request goes, it will go to the GoDaddy. In GoDaddy database, what is mentioned? Azure DNS servers, public DNS servers. So in DNS servers, it will go and check where I should go now to have the application data. So here Azure DNS having a route here. This is the one. Record is available. So here you found init6tech.com and it will route the traffic to TrafficManager.net. Traffic Manager endpoint are any region basis. Region basis means they are from different regions. And we create only one server from one region. You can create multiple servers from the same region, and from both the regions you can create multiple servers, more than two, and you can create endpoint to the traffic manager for all those servers. For trial and basis, we create only one from each. We can have two from East US, two from West US also for high availability. That's why also it's basically that only we configure. More than two only we'll configure for application servers, because if one goes wrong with the East US server, then traffic cannot be sent, right? Can you please quickly show again the init6 DNS settings? Okay, you mean in GoDaddy? In the GoDaddy, whenever you buy a product, go to your home page and go to the My Products. It will show what are the domain names you purchased. It shows my domain name, and below that you can see the DNS here with my init6tech.com domain name DNS. Click on it, and here you can see DNS records like name servers. So this is the name servers which I added from the Azure DNS zones. For the first time when you log in, you can able to see GoDaddy DNS servers here. Now I updated this one. And why 4? Because high availability. See, 4 is not required. 1 is also enough. But for high availability, they mentioned they are providing 4 DNS servers for you. And this DNS zone is also costly, like firewall. Whatever we created these DNS zones, this is also very costly. So they are providing you 4 DNS servers for high availability. Let's take only one server here. Update that one server here. And in this one server, whenever someone trying to access init6tech.com, it will come to GoDaddy. In GoDaddy name server it finds, and it will go and talk to this DNS server. And these DNS servers is having what? These entries. If you see here, www name, this is the traffic manager Galaxy. Here we see entry. With the help of this entry, it will send traffic to traffic manager. If there is no entry here, even DNS of Azure also cannot do anything. The request comes here. This DNS is checking where is the entry. Is there any website called init6check.com is defined here? Nothing is mentioned. So then what it will do? It will fail. You are not going to access the page. Public. This is the one. This is not private. This is public. Whatever these 4 DNS servers it is showing, those are like public DNS servers, not private. You link by Udemy if I have course. My course in Udemy. Linux for DevOps. I think this is the one recently created, maybe 1-2 months ago. This is the one. Everyone. And I have a Kubernetes course also with me, real-time Kubernetes microservice deployment course. This one, DevOps project, CI/CD with Jenkins, Helm on Azure Kubernetes cluster and EKS cluster. When you learn Kubernetes at the time, if it needs, you can go through and you can check that. Anything else? Your API will have an endpoint. To access your API will have an endpoint to access it. Understood? Please share flowchart. Flowchart for create traffic manager. Flowchart means you want this paint diagram or anything else you are expecting. How to configure to access the website using HTTPS. How to configure? You need to configure certificate. You can go to the Let's Encrypt and take the certificate. Instead of buying certificate from Let's Encrypt, you can get a certificate and you can configure it. How to we? I did not understand. How to we pay? What we need to pay, Raja? Certificate will be configured. No, not in the traffic manager. You cannot configure in the traffic manager. What is the difference between SSL and TLS certificate? SSL certificate is a bit old technology. TLS is the latest technology. So they having almost same, but TLS is the like latest one, and SSL is like bit old kind of technology. That's it. Charging, see, always I don't check how much they are charging because it depends how much resources you are using, how the traffic is coming. Based on that, they will charge. So you can go like to the Azure documentation about charges for DNS zones or what are the service you are looking for. There they will tell you based upon how much of usage, how much they are charging. For Kubernetes. Raja, I did not understand you. You just mentioned your question mark. That what is your question? Like Azure provide their own free certificate. I never tried whether they're providing or not. I was using Let's Encrypt to get the certificates. I will check and let you know, Rajesh, if Azure is providing any free certificates. Okay, guys, I think we are done. I think most of your questions are cleared. For one or two questions I couldn't able to answer, I'll check whether Azure is also providing any free certificates. Then I'll let you know. Okay. So tomorrow we'll talk about load balances, and then on Monday, like next week also, still we have few more networking topics like application gateway. After that, we'll go to the some other topics. Okay. Whoever asked Linux course and Udemy course, yeah, actually I thought, see, I'll do one thing. Don't buy this Linux or this Udemy course as of now. On tomorrow, I will create a coupon and I will share it with you for lesser price, so that you will get it for some around 360 or 370 rupees. Okay. So don't buy today. Tomorrow I will share with coupon code. I thought to share with coupon code, but someone asked, that's why I shared it now. So wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow I will create it and I will share it with you. Okay. Thank you. Thanks everyone.